Oh, hello there. I did not see you there filming. It's the camera people. Hello, Bob. Hello, folks. How are you today? Now, as you know, or perhaps you don't know, I am Bragi, and yes, I am the son of Magnar. And indeed, I am a Viking. I'm a Viking storyteller, and I do love a good story. So, the other day, I was out in the field around Northworthy, not far from my property, when I found this axe. And I thought to myself, this is one of my old axes. I've not seen this for years. And I thought to myself, perhaps a boggart has come along and hidden it. He's also made the head loose. Bad. Boggart. So today's story is about a boggart, and is called the Bogies Field, and comes from the county of Northamptonshire, a county I've been to, and is well known for leather and leather production. Now, once upon a time in the old days, in the days of our ancestors, most of them were farmers and poor, there was a man. We will call him Olaf. And Olaf, he was a farmer. He'd done quite well. He inherited his father's farm, and he had a little bit of land, and he used to spend most of his time farming. But there was a boggart, a Bogie, who kept on claiming one of his fields. And, there was old Olaf walking along the field, and he would hear in the distance, "Oi, get on my land!" And it would be the boggart. And the boggart thinks he's got rights to the land. And after a while, a few years passed, and this kept on happening. The boggart thought it was his field. "Hey, that's my field, that!" And the farmer said, "Oh, no, it's my field. It belongs to me. It belongs to old Olaf with a beard." He had a beard. And this continued. And it got to the point where something had to be done. And so one day the old farmer Olaf was walking down a road, a little pathway, and he met the boggart or the Bogie walking down the other side of the road, and they stopped and had a chat and said, let's sort out this field business. You say it's yours, I say it's mine. Let's decide. And let's compromise. Let's sort some kind of a deal out. And so the boggart and the farmer Olaf, they agreed to share the crops. And so it was quite simple. They had to decide whether they were going to have the bottom crop or the top crop. And the boggart, the Bogie, said, "Oh, bottom, I want the bottom crop." He was very persistent. Perhaps he's had too much coffee, I don't know. And so the farmer agreed to this. "All right then, you can have the bottom half and I will have the top half. And at the end of the season, in autumn, when it's time to pull up the crops, we will see who gets what." And so for the first season, often things travel in three, and there will be 3 seasons in this tale. The farmer, he planted wheat. Yeah, he was very clever, was old Olaf. Well, he had to be to get old as a Viking. And so many months passed and the wheat grew. It was a good wheat. And it was time to harvest the crops. And of course the farmer, he got all the wheat. And what do you think the old Bogie, the old boggart got? Oops, hitting the lamp. He got nothing. In fact, all he got was stubble. Who put that there? And electrician. Stubble and roots. Now, as a Bogie, as a boggart, and you may be asking yourself, what is a boggart? It is a little creature, a bit like a gnome, but isn't a gnome, and a bit like a dwarf, but it isn't a dwarf. And boggarts are much later. They circle from the 16th century, so they are a much later creature. So the boggart, he got nothing. He got some roots and stubble. Would you be happy with that? No. And so, at the end of harvest, they both sat down, did old Olaf and old boggart, the Bogie. And, the boggart, he thought he was clever, and he said, "Top, I want the top half this time," thinking that the farmer was going to plant wheat. What do you think's going to happen? I think you know. The farmer, he loved a good turnip. And so he planted turnips, and we all know turnips grow in the ground and not above. And so the old boggart, thinking that he was going to get wheat, he was done again by the old farmer Olaf with a beard. It was white by now with worry, probably about the boggart. Boggarts are mysterious creatures, and beware them, folks. And so the end of harvest came, and it was time to pull up all the crop. And what do you think happened? Oh yes, the farmer who chose the bottom half got all the nice turnips. In fact, he had a very large pile, which is said to be higher than me. Oh, that's a lot of turnips, folks. That could last you for a good year. And what do you think the old Bogie got, the old boggart? Well, he got nothing but a bit of stem off the top of the turnip, and yet again he was done by the farmer. The farmer outsmarted him. And so another winter went past, and again the boggart and farmer Olaf met up, I should say, and they decided again that this time they wasn't going to choose who was going to get what crops from the top or the bottom. In this case, they're going to have a mowing match. You may be asking yourself, what is a mowing match? Well, they was going to halve the field in half, and the boggart was going to have this half, and the farmer this half, and the farmer was going to plant wheat across all the field, and they was going to get some scythes when it was time to harvest and see who could harvest the wheat the quickest. But the farmer, he was not a stupid man, he was very wise. He had some coin, and he went and he saw the local blacksmith. Every village had a blacksmith. Some blacksmiths, well, they would have been very localised in the area. Some would have travelled to farms and smithed. But this smith, well, he'd been there for generations. His father was a smith, his grandfather was a smith, and they used to make chains and nails. Lots of nails. Nails were very useful. And so the old farmer went and said, I want a load of iron bars, 100 of them. And the smith was, well, a bit confused. What do you want iron bars for? But the man gave him 10 silver pieces, and he didn't want to ask. Would you? I wouldn't if I was a smith. I'll just take the coin and do the job. And so the blacksmith, a few weeks later, delivered in a horse and cart 100 iron bars. And when the boggart was not around, what do you think the farmer did? Well, I think you know. He got around the half of the field where the boggart was going to mow at the end of harvest time, and he stuck all the bars in the ground where the wheat was growing. And soon some time passed, a few months, the summer had gone, autumn was here, it was harvest time, time to harvest the wheat. And so the farmer and the boggart both got ready for a match, a competition. Match is the old word for competition. And so they lined up in the morning, and there was set a time to finish. And he said, by noon, the one who had finished the most will win all the crop, and will also win the field. And no more will the boggart or the farmer argue about who owns it. And you know what happens next? Both the farmer and the boggart, they started to mow with scythes. But very quickly, the boggart had problems. His scythe kept on catching on the iron bars, and he thought, what trickery is going on here? And no matter how many times he tried to scythe, he kept on having problems with these bars. The boggart thought it was magic, when it was not. It was pure trickery. And so by noon the farmer had finished, and had sat down with a nice hoard of mead and a bit of meat, cold meat, and had won. The old boggart was not happy. He had lost the competition, and had lost his bit of land afield, and was said to never been seen again by the farmer. The end of the tale. This tale is told out. Now let's talk about boggarts. What are boggarts? What do they look like? Perhaps there's one in your garden. Go and have a look. Well, boggarts are very small. They have beards, and they are very tricky creatures. Some boggarts are known to bring good luck. Some are known to bring bad luck. They are often known to take objects like your favourite axe and go and hide it. They are known for getting your axe and making them blunt. That is a wicked thing to do, but boggarts have a funny sense of humour. Now, as I said earlier in the folktale, boggarts are a much later creation, and they generally come from the 16th century. Are boggarts elves in the New World? It makes you think how old the boggart is and what was the boggart before the boggart became the boggart. What do you think? Now, boggarts are often known to live in small houses and caves and woods. They are known to haunt and play in hedgerows. They are indeed very fascinating creatures. And they are also known to make horses go lame. So watch out if you have a horse and you have a boggart on your land. Treat it nicely and it will respect you. If not, who knows what could happen. So, this is a very interesting folktale. As I said, it comes from Northamptonshire. And it is also known as mowing contest run by trickery. And quite interesting, this is folktale type 130 and 190. I can't explain that. I do not know a great deal about the different folktale types, but there are many, many different types. And this also is very similar, I should say, with the farmer and the boggart tale, one I've told. So, without smashing the old light and the old camera, I'd be careful of that, folks. These cost a lot of money. It is goodbye from me. Goodbye from Bragi, and do leave a comment. Either hashtag folktales or leave a comment in the old unusual way. Now, I'm going to go this way now, chop some kindling for my fire. Goodbye. Olaf, come on, let's get some wood.